وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. Respected brothers and sisters, all praise belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has given us the opportunity to come to His house to perform salah, given us the opportunity to start our day from the Masjid, which is a source of khair bringing in the life of an individual. As a human being, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes a person goes through different trials in this world. Sometimes those trials are very difficult when it comes to the matter of this individual to bear it. But understand that every difficulty, it has been rewarded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the reward of those things that are given to this individual in such abundance that a person, he will forget all the pains that he had received in this dunya. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said that on the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring a person who has gone through only difficulties in this dunya. One after another, one struggle. And before one struggle finishes, another struggle comes in. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will just give him a glance of Jannah, and that glance will be so vast and so great that it will make him forget all the pains that he had gone through and all the suffering. And Allah Azza wa Jal will ask him that, "Oh my servant, have you ever seen difficulties in your life?" And this person will reply, "Oh Allah, I have never seen pain, difficulties ever in my life." So the ni'mat of Jannah, the reward that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has kept for those individuals who go through different types of suffering in this dunya, and then they endure patience and have reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are the two main components which makes every pain easy and rewardable in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In contrary to this, if a person was to complain, and if a person was to be unhappy with the situation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put him, then all of that will be written of this individual to be amongst the unthankful individuals. Those who don't have thank in their life, those who don't have shukr in their life. And this is only granted to a believer, because a believer is the one who will be able to understand the importance of reward behind difficulties and conditions. And this is why Rasul alayhi salatu wassalam has mentioned great qualities of this believer. Having iman, being able to believe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you become important and everyone else becomes important. So as it is important for an individual to be mindful of these scenarios, he has to be mindful that how he is going to treat those who possess iman. Those people who have iman, how I'm going to deal with them. What should be my characteristics? Rasul alayhi salatu wassalam said that I take responsibility of giving a house in the corner of Jannah to that individual who leaves an argument even though he knows is right. He knows is right. Because there is no point. The arguments, they will only create more hatred in the hearts of individuals, and they will separate them. So even though, I know a lot of times a person, I'm doing the right thing, so I have the right to argue. And everyone's right is right to their own version. No one argues for a wrong thing. It is the right of his version, and this is the right of his version. So what is the compromising? Yes, brother, you're right and I'm also right. Let's move on. There is no point of arguing, because you cannot. There is no argument of something that one is trying to convince the other, or the other one is trying to convince the first. You leave it for the sake of Allah and you move on. And for both of these individuals, Allah Azza wa Jal promises them a house in Jannah. So then Rasul alayhi salatu wassalam said, I take responsibility to grant a house in the middle of paradise to that individual who gives up lying even though it can be for fun. People know that you're joking. It's not that people know that you're saying the truth. People know that you're joking. But to joke in a lie, it's not right. To joke about accuracy. Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, he used to joke, but his jokes were never lie. It was always accurate and truth. So Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, this person is granted Jannah, a house in Jannah. Why? Because he gave up lying, even though if it was for fun. And then Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, I take responsibility to give a highest abode, a house in the highest place in Jannah, the person who makes his characteristics excellent, who excels in his characteristics, in dealing with individuals. This person, he gets the highest place in Jannah. So a believer, a person, he is a very important asset. And he's an important asset in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And his existence is saving a lot of calamities. Every believer, their existence are saving many of the calamities of the world. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said that Allah will not bring the day of judgment. Allah will not end this world as long as there is a single person living on the earth who is reciting the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what does that mean? That this believer, he is a source of saving humanity from many types of difficulty. And we don't know what type of quality which believer possesses. Every believer has great qualities. And we don't know what type of quality each person has. And which quality of his is beloved in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is why, as a believer, our gesture, our behavior, our way of conduct, our way of dealing with individuals should be in the utmost respect and honor, in the utmost behavior, in the utmost best characteristics. And then we will see as we honor, because we are honoring the iman that this person possesses. We are honoring the good characteristics that this person has. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will honor the person who honors the actions of faith, who honors iman and people of iman. So we have to have understanding this in our heart, that every believer, he is important. Every person, he is important. There is no waste in the creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ask Allah to grant us the understanding, the ability to practice. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. جزاكم الله خيرا سبحان الله وبحمده سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك ونشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب